Well then, welcome back to TTTV. You're watching TTL F1. This is Commentators Corner for the Japanese Grand Prix. And Andy, we had quite an interesting race. Championship battles have squeezed up, 7 points between them. We had Recon take his first win of the season. It looked like it was a huge relief in the chat there, and lots of action, especially coming up the hill on the way towards the Degner curves. And I have to say, in terms of drama, this race pretty much delivered.
Yeah, it covered plenty of the angles in this race. A little bit of rain at the end, spicing things up. We had plenty of spinners, quite a wee bit of contact, unfortunately. Plenty of front wings needing changed as well. I'm sure some lucky Japanese fan picking up all the carbon fibre pieces will probably be able to trade them in for a good number of yen tomorrow morning if this was for real. But Recon, for me, drove a fantastic race. He put it on pole position with a brilliant lap, pulled away at the start, only lost the lead during the pit stop phase, and even when the rain came at the end, didn't crack under the pressure. Takes that first podium of the season and that first win, and that is back-to-back Japanese Grand Prix victories as well, because he picked up the victory here last time in season 13, so could he make it a hat-trick in season 15? Seems to be becoming, maybe, just maybe, a bit of a Suzuka specialist.
Yeah, Suzuka specialist. I like that. It's now going to stick.
Hey, if there's any track you want to be a specialist at, it would be, for me, it would be Suzuka, Silverstone, or Spa.
Ah, you'd be the Spa specialist, wouldn't you?
Well, maybe for sitting at the top of Radion with the sun decker, maybe, yeah.
Oh, maybe. Well, we do have our first driver into Commentators Corner, and it is one half of the Mercedes team. It's Spike. Spike, third place tonight. You close the gap on your championship rival. That must have been a decent night by your standards.
Good evening, boys. It was difficult. That's how I class that race.
So let's start from the very start, qualifying. We saw you on a medium run, because we saw that very first soft lap abandoned, because obviously you didn't want to start on those tyres. You tried to run on the medium tyres, but you invalidated the lap. Now, I guessed it was the Degner triangle. Did I get that guess right?
Yeah, the final two corners, yeah. Cut the curb just so much. The triangle, yeah.
the Casio
final
triangle.
Corner. Well, yes. Not the final.
I think your brain went to the Bermuda Triangle there, mate.
I think it did. Don't trend that on Twitter. Don't do it. But yeah, and then it seemed like you were caught in two minds whether to come into the pit lane or stay out, and you stayed out. And did that cost you valuable time for your final lap, or did you make it back in time?
No, I got back in time. Yeah, I just went across the line. I didn't really think about. I should have come in the pit, yeah, but I just didn't think about it. It didn't really make a difference, to be honest.
So obviously, when you came in here, you obviously starting on the soft tyre. Your rival Lyronix on the mediums. How were you prepping yourself for that race?
Same as always. I was hoping to win. Yeah, but you know, it's just I got the best start. Just couldn't go anywhere with it, unfortunately. Quite a narrow track, so and yeah, I couldn't get past Jack because Recon was on my right, and yeah, couldn't move, so I had to slot back in, and then nearly missed turn one, or turn two, should I say? Nearly went off the track, so that was kind of lucky to stay on in the end. And then, as it transpired, I didn't have the pace anyway. The car was quite difficult to drive.
And just in the, especially the first part of that stint on those soft tyres, you were starting to drop away from the front too. Was that you driving to your Delta?
I was saving the tyres, yeah. I mean, you can see by the fact that the top two came in at lap 9. I got to lap 13, I think, before my tyres even sort of began to start giving up. But yeah, I mean, it didn't matter because, like I said, I wasn't close enough anyway. So I was just trying to ensure that I had some tyres left at the end, because I knew the rain was coming, but it was never gonna. It wasn't going to rain hard enough for long enough to make a stop for the wet's worth it. So it's all about hanging on at the end.
And obviously you have finished in front of your title rival, gap down to 7 points. Mexico next. You've obviously had some good times at Mexico before, and I bet you're hoping to repeat them.
Yeah. It's not a track I particularly like. But it's not a terrible track. I just don't particularly like it myself personally. But we'll see how we go. Hopefully it stays dry. I mean, for me, the transition between wet and dry or dry and wet is always poor. You can see by the front two how much quicker they were. The advantages of running a certain assist, which I won't mention, gives you a rather big advantage. So poor me and Lauronix desperately trying to get the car to slow down into certain corners with not a lot of grip is always hard work. So, but yeah, Mexico, bring it on. Bring it on.
I like those words. Andy, I'll just hand over the mic to you before I steal it anymore.
You're okay, and for this time you didn't steal my question. Spike answered it because I was about to ask about the wet-dry sort of crossover, how tricky those last couple of laps were. You kind of answered it there and threw a bit of shade at some people at the same time. So you know what? I'll leave it there.
No, it's not. It wasn't intended as a dig at all. Everyone, you know.
No, I know. I'm just trying to stir things up more. That's all.
Yeah, get a bit of spice going. No, look, I'm into. I can use it if I want to. I just choose not to. So, but that's my choice. So, I was just trying to explain the delta between. I mean, I think I lost something like 5 or 6 seconds in 2 laps or something crazy. So, yeah. But Lauronix behind me wasn't. He was gaining a little bit, but my car was really difficult to drive at the end. And they nearly missed the last chicane on the last lap. So, that could have been very difficult if I just missed it. But I just about did a wall of death run outside and didn't get a penalty. So.
Well, Spike, just one more question for you then. 2 races to go. Can you do it? Can you claim your second title?
Oh, what did I say last time? I'm going to give it a damn good go.
I like that. Just sticking to your guns. I like it. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, Spike, as always. We look forward to seeing you next week in Mexico.
Thanks, guys. Awesome job as always.
Thank you.
And now we have a late arrival to Commentators Corner, but a welcome arrival nonetheless. It is race winner Recon. Recon, after 5th and 7th places to be on the top step of the podium, you must be absolutely thrilled with that one.
Yeah, man. Finally. Jesus Christ. I was waiting for the race. That was a bit fortunate for me, and I finally got it. I had to work for it because Jack was fast, but I got it in the end, so very happy.
And as Andy said over the stream, it was a perfect night for you. Pole position, race win, and fastest lap. There's not a lot more you could have done, Recon.
Didn't get pole position. Jack got pole.
Ah.
Oh yes, of course. Because you were on pole for so long, I got mixed up.
Yeah, I could have gone pole. I won 2/10 in the middle sector and the first sector, but I bubbled it final sector. So
you know what it was? It was because you were 3/4 of a second clear before Jack put it on pole. I forgot all about it. Sorry, Jack, if you're watching, because it was a good pole lap. Sorry, mate.
No, it was. I did a good lap, but I lost 2/10 in the final sector, so I could have gotten pole, but I overtook him when I got DRS because I didn't want to risk it into turn 1 because I needed the points. So I just waited for DRS, passed him cleanly, and just managed the tires, managed the fuel ERS, and just cruise home, basically.
Cruise home was, I think, a bit of an understatement when the rain fell and Jack lost his front wing behind. You pretty much slowed it down to a crawl.
Yeah, when Jack crashed, I just completely thought, okay, that's it. I just short shift to 8th and just cruise home because I didn't want to risk anything. And still, then I was struggling to keep it on track. So if Jack didn't crash and was pushing me to the end, could have gotten nasty.
And yeah, first race win of the season. I think you summed it up perfectly. But just sum it up for us again. Finally on the top step of the podium this season.
Oh, it's amazing, quite frankly. My highest finish till this season is 5th, and I got on 7th place 2 times on P7. I got 2 DNFs. Man, I needed to get some a clean race, just get some points and just focus and just clear my mind. And it was, I think, I couldn't have done it any better than I did in Japan, so I'm really happy, and hopefully I can keep this going again and not bother it in the next few races. I'm not in a champion fight anymore, but I just want to perform the best I can, of course.
And next race coming up is, of course, the Mexican Grand Prix. How do you find the track there in Mexico, the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez? I got it right.
I have no clue on it, but you might be. I don't know. But it's a fun track. The only thing that is a bit tricky is track limits, I think. I haven't drove Mexico in a while, but it's a fun track, like the middle sector and stuff. And it's also good for wheel, so people with pad have a bit of a downside here, but I think I can perform good, but it's just about getting some practice in, not too much, because if you get too much you get lazy and tired. But just get some track time and do the best I can.
Andy, I'll hand the mic over to you.
Don't have any questions to put across apart from saying well done on what was a pretty flawless race, pretty much. Apologies for giving you the pole when you didn't have it, but you nearly did. And thank you for not swearing this time. We still remember that one.
Oh yeah. I'm Dutch.
I'm Scottish, I do think Garfield.
Yeah, of course.
Well, Recon, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Congratulations on the win and the fastest lap. We look forward to seeing you in Mexico.
Thank you, man. Good commentating, like always.
And I believe that wraps it up for tonight. So, Andy, we head to Mexico next time around. I'm hoping you're joining me for it.
I should be all going well with the shifts. I am here for the rest of the season now, because there's only a couple of rounds left, so I'm good.
Andy, that is music to my ears, and if that's music to your ears, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the notification bell so you're notified every time you go live, and don't forget to follow the league on Twitter. It's at TTL_F1. You can follow me whilst you're there as well. It's at KSMCGF1, and you can also follow Andy whilst you're there as well.
Yes, indeed, it is Andy81287, and as you said, Kieran, hit the subscribe button because we're not too far off of hitting 300 subscribers now. So it'd be nice to get towards that in the next couple of weeks. I think that would be really, really good. TTFL tomorrow, Project Cars on Saturday night, TTL F2 on Tuesday, and of course we're back here on Thursday night as well for TTL F1. 4 nights worth of action across the week. Subscribe and bell icon to be notified of every single one of them.
I can't wait, and I hope you'll be joining us too next week. Until then, I've been Kieran McGinley.
And I've been Andy Campbell.
Take care of yourselves, and we will see you next time.
Ta-da.